drive on him.
This is twice now the Celtics have been first to the floor. They try to save with Horford. Unbelievable.
Boston first to the floor. So good.
Brown fakes, fires up the three. Bang! Tatum dives on the floor. Everybody dives. Jaylen Brown with the flush. Blocked by Porzingis. He's doing it all. Tatum spinning, driving, layup. Got it. Washington drives. Blocked by White. Oh, what a block from Derek White.
Wayne Spooney here, First to the Floor podcast. I am joined by Jake Eisenberg. Jake, the New York Knicks are champions.
It's been a while.
Yeah.
We got some good banner discourse, and they are the most honorable of all three NBA Cup champions, it would appear, in that they're not going to raise a banner. I think it's the right choice. Like, as much as I hate to admit it, it's okay for the Lakers to put one up when you already have. Like, when you've got lots of banners, I feel like you can kind of do whatever you want. But you can't make your first thing you put up there in multiple lifetimes the NBA Cup.
Yeah,
brought to you by Emirates.
53 years, I think. 73. Yeah, if I'm doing the math correct. Yeah, definitely. If Milwaukee did it right, that's embarrassing. So, whatever, it's the Cup. We're going to talk more about Knicks and big picture stuff on the Patreon pod. The Celtics, they're a basketball team, right? Like, I think they play basketball. Is that what's going on here?
I really like the NBA Cup. I've come around to it. But the scheduling quirks that are associated with the Cup is annoying. But
yeah, for sure.
They will play. And then what's crazy is they still have 2 more days off before they play, like today, tomorrow, and then they play, right? Like,
yeah.
And it's a back-to-back, Heat Raptors. So it's like you have all this time off and then you're straight into the back-to-back. But
it's
whatever.
Nonsense.
That'll be fine.
Yeah. But we did get some news. Brad Stevens did host a press conference. I did not get a chance to watch it, but I know that you've got some takes.
Here.
And yeah, that's why you're here. And I know he had some, I guess, kind words about Anthony Simons. I did see that quote. It's a press conference. What is he going to say? But nonetheless, Jake, what stood out to you from the press conference?
I didn't even write down the Anthony Simons stuff, but we can. But I did watch it. We can talk about it. I was really interested in the Tatum stuff to get Brad's thoughts. The big thing to me was him saying we're not putting a timeline on it, but one of the things that everybody can see is we didn't apply for DPE this year, which is the disabled player exception. Basically, kind of saying we were hopeful / maybe expecting him to come back the whole time, or at least wanted to leave the door open. And then the part that people are worried about, the reality is he's not going to come back until he's 110% healthy and he feels good about it. Tatum is very cognizant of the need to meet every threshold and why there are those things that are put in place. So like the two things, right? It's like, we're not going to, is he capable of coming back? Should he come back? Everyone's on the same page. It sounds like with Tatum, Brad, the team. Tatum knows as much as he wants to come back, the big picture is so much more important than kind of having this Cinderella run. But like two things can work in tandem, both him being fully cleared and ready to go, help us on a playoff run, and two, making sure that he does the thing that's best for his long-term health.
Yeah, Tatum gets it, man. And also Tatum definitely feels like a big checkpoint guy. Like he needs to hit every checkpoint along the way, and he needs to hit them like a week or 2 weeks before the doctor thinks he can hit them, like it's like a game to him, a pure competition. So like I think to everybody who is concerned about Tatum playing this year, because there's people out there, and I get it. I understand there's no point. Why have him come back? He is not going to come back unless the risk of injury is equal to before the injury occurred, right? Or rather, is not going to change whether he plays in March or he plays in October of next year, right? Because at some point, he's just going to be healed. And he seems very cognizant of the fact that like he is not going to play. And Brad, that everybody's rowing in the same direction on Jayson Tatum here. Like he's not going to play if he is not fully healthy. And then at that point, it's just the same risk of anyone playing basketball at any time of injury. The DPE, just like really quick, I think we probably could have gotten it, but we're trying to cut salary. Like it's the small MLE. So like what's even out there for that? It's just minimum guys, and you can take something back in a trade, but we have a massive trade exception. So we don't need a trade exception at all. So basically it's like, we're not going to use it. And then we don't, if we did get it and use it, then we're all of a sudden trying to find a way to shed that salary at some point this year or cut somebody when Tatum comes back. So it makes sense that it's not really worth the effort to go through the motions and get it. So whatever, that's a kind of an interesting tidbit. But yeah, man, like happy to hear that, it's what I expected. This team is really smart. They're not going to get a Joel Embiid situation with Jayson Tatum. Like they're going to wait. It's just that he's a superhero. He's probably going to come back sooner than we all think.
Yeah. Eric Weiss, the more interesting question is, what level of play are people expecting when he comes back? I am so looking forward to the 6 for 18 that he puts up when he comes back, and probably has for the following 3 games. But yeah, I think the 70 to 80% return probably put him on like a 26 minutes per game type of thing. Basically just absorbing like the Baylor Scheinman and Anthony Simons minutes is going to be my guess. But
is that an upgrade? I don't know.
A little bit. Oh man, Anthony Simons. Yeah, we'll get to him at some point.
Okay.
Yeah. So something was interesting is that the win totals are constantly being updated on like the betting books, right? Just like you can just bet on where you think they're going to land from now. And I looked at it today. Do you want to guess? Unless you saw my tweet, but do you want to guess?
I did not.
Okay. Do you want to guess where the Celtics win total was that I saw?
Okay. Yeah, I had a very busy day of work and I was barely on Twitter today, so I'm glad I didn't see it. Okay, so we were what, like 41.5 to start the year, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, we're
now sitting at
15 and 11.
15 and 11, which is like a mid 40s.
48, pace. Yeah. Okay, 47.5.
49.5.
Damn, dude.
Yeah.
I mean, that's like 50-50 winning 50 games.
Yeah. So, and it jumped up. It was pointed out to me from Drew LFG on Twitter, is that it jumped, like it had moved to 43.5, and then all of a sudden it jumped to 49.5.
They know.
I mean, they're seeing the same stuff we are, but plus whatever they know as well. But I wonder if that is like okay, he comes back with 30 games to go. Yeah. The team that can't grab a rebound to save their fucking life. Jayson Tatum's good at that. It might even be that simple.
Yeah, it very well. And he like is a money catch and shoot 3-point shooter, and like obviously will be incredible driving closeouts. So even if he's not Jayson Tatum, all NBA, complete fulcrum of the offense, does everything for you, he's still like the best role player in the NBA at 80% of where he's at. So that's a massive boon to this team. There is an argument that when he comes back, it's going to be kind of wonky, and he is just such an important part of this team that it could look like a little off. And like, you're right. He 6 of 18, like 22 minutes, 18 shots. Like that's definitely going to happen. So I could see the argument, at least for the first couple of weeks, it has kind of a negative impact on performance. I don't think that, but I think you could make that a reasonable argument. To me, it seems like pretty crazy, because there's also a chance he comes back with like 10 games left and he's not really going to have an impact on the over under at all. So that makes me hyped, because Vegas always knows. But man, that is a crazy jump, dude. Like that is, he better be back in February to have that big of an impact, it feels like.
50 wins did not seem in the realm of possibilities going into this season. That's for sure. I also think the opposite is possible. on the other end of the spectrum where Tatum comes back and he's trying to not step on people's toes too much.
Yeah.
And it's like, no, dude, we need you to be Jayson Tatum. Like that's how we get to anywhere close to where we want to go. Yeah, maybe at first it's just you show him rookie Jayson Tatum tape. Yes,
Yeah.
and
Remember this?
Jalen's Kyrie, and Tatum is Tatum just from 8 years ago. Catch and
Hell
shoots,
yeah.
closeouts, guarding a ton of different guys, rebounding. It
While
is
she's
wild.
Marcus Smart.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Well, she's Marcus Smart. How many different roles that both him and Jalen have played. Like,
Yeah.
Jalen's come off the bench for like some really good teams. Tatum, obviously, his rookie year Tatum hasn't played that as many different roles compared to Jalen, but that rookie year, earning his starting spot by being like a very rare rookie that can play defense and play off-ball defense. Jalen has done it all now. He's been the clear-cut number one for the first time in his career. He's been kind of a bench warmer type player in his rookie season to earning his way into kind of like that Tatum rookie year where they were kind of 1A, 1B, 1C with Horford, Jalen, and Jayson in the playoffs. It's a rarer type of journey for guys that are top 3 picks because they came on to good teams. But I do think that experience has helped both of them be able to play different roles within games and within seasons, but also helping them to adjust in these situations where it's like Jason's done it before and he's seeing the success of the team. I'm really interested to get his perspective on what it's been like as he started to see the game differently in some way when he comes back.
Yeah, it's like a, basketball university, right? Like he's basically just watching more tape and more hoops than he probably ever has in entire life without playing. That's kind of a cool argument I've not really thought about. Shea was kind of like that too, where he was like on the Clippers and, was kind of a bench guy and then sort of into a role. And then he was like the upside guy, but not a star when he got traded to Oklahoma City. And then he was kind of like the third banana there. And now he's the MVP. So there's definitely something to that. And
Jokic kind of as well.
Yeah, Jokic as well. Giannis, like kind of lesser so because those teams weren't good and he was just so raw. It took him a while, but he definitely wasn't like Cooper Flag. Here's the offense, So there's probably something to that, but a lot of teams just don't have the luxury of being like, hey, number 3 overall pick. Like you're just gonna play 15 minutes a night. You might not play some nights, Jaylen Brown. Sorry. So
the Hornets to Con Knipple are just like, no, you're not going to play.
Con is a hooper though, man.
Oh my God.
He would have fucking started on that Celtics team too, the Kyrie
for
team.
Sure.
So that's cool. And I think it allows them to understand, I think, the importance of what their teammates do and what makes them such good teammates. Like you see the way Jalen treats Jordan Walsh, and it's like, all you need to do is this. I believe Noah Dalzell had an article where it was like Jalen who went to Joe and was like, put him at the point of attack, like let him do this. And that's kind of how Jalen got on the court, right? He was just like crazy athleticism and on-ball defense. So I kind of forgot where I was going with this point, to be honest with you, Jake. But it's awesome that they've had that journey. Yeah. Okay, Tatum fitting in. Like he's gonna give the game whatever it needs. He's just that type of player, and he has that type of skill set.
Yeah, and people worried about like the 1A, 1B thing. I think it's possible that Jalen remaining the 1A, especially initially, I think makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
And seeing Jalen grow as this playmaker, like being able to get Jayson off ball more is great. Like normal Celtics fans, not the Tatum stands and the Jalen stands, have all been like, wow, Jalen taking this step forward and being this fucking good is so good for the Boston Celtics. It's so good for Jayson Tatum. It's so good for everybody.
Yep.
Like that's really the only response you should have to seeing Jaylen Brown play this well, who both Zach Lowe and Bill Simmons in their Ringer 100 on their most recent pod said they had Jaylen Brown at 12. Crazy. Holy shit, dude. And deserved, no question. And so it's like, okay, well, the reality now is like, if Tatum gets back to who he was, he's a top 5 guy, and you got a top 12 guy at positions that as guys that can do so many things, it's it sounds like we've got supercharged versions of the Jays. And even going back to the 2023 season, where Jayson averaged 30 and Jalen averaged, I want to say, was it 27?
Yeah, that was what I was gonna say too. Is 27.
Yeah, like I can't believe I'm even giving the can they coexist conversation air.
I know what
but
you mean, though.
You know what I mean? Like it's
Yeah.
like I do think for Jalen, it's like, see, I can do this,
Mm-hmm.
but the words have always been used against Jalen when he talks about sacrificing. But he's always kind of said it he means it in a good way. He's like, I know that the best version of this team is not going to be me leading the NBA in usage.
Yeah.
I'm going to be able to play much better defense when Jayson Tatum comes back. That's not been his strength this season. And how could it be when he's playing the way that he's playing on offense?
Dude, and like the simple fact that there are people out there that it's like one of your second best player is playing awesome and it's a bad thing is like, what fucking mental gymnastics do you have to go through? I feel like we were never a stan team where we did not have players that had stans for the longest time. And like the last, I think ever since Jalen won finals MVP, it feels like the divide and like this subset of the fandom has really intensified where it's like, one group's like, see, Jalen is just as good as Jayson Tatum. And then the other groups is like, you don't get it. Tatum is way better and Jalen actually sucks. Look at his on-off numbers. And it's like, you both are wrong. They're both freaking awesome. And we are very lucky to have them both. Hey, proof of concept. Jalen played awesome in the finals and so did Jayson Tatum. And we won the finals. Like, that seems like pretty good evidence that we need them both playing really, really well.
Yeah. And I will say, like, I think it can apply in certain, like when like Franz and Paolo, I think there's something going on there. And I think it's different. Maybe. I think it's different, especially now. I could almost understand it after like 21, 22. I disagreed. I thought like Jays equals that's everything. But now that they've won the title, had all this success for so long, it's an insane thing to think. But like the Hawks kind of playing well without Trae Young. I'm like, I can kind of see that. But when you've had this track record of team success for literally the entirety of their careers, and both have been All-NBA, All-Stars, 26.6 points for Jalen in 22/23, 29.3 this year, leading the league in 2-point attempts per game. I'm seeing here. Fucking legend. But yeah. Well, that was fun. In our initial conversations on Discord, I did say just talk shit about the Celtics, spit the shit about the Celtics, and that's just what we did, which was great. Next, Brad Stevens thing.
Real quick, Jake, do you have Prize Picks queued up?
Yeah.
Why don't we run Prize Picks now?
Great call.
All right, cool.
It's Prize Picks time, baby. Tough loss for the Patriots over the weekend. Hope we went more on everything because I think we may have got to everything except for Drake May passing yards, which is tough. Travion more. Josh Allen, more everything. Looking for a bounce back against the Ravens. Another big one coming up for the fellas this weekend. I think Drake May's just got to learn, put the cape on. Take more on the rushing yards for both him and Travion and probably Lamar, unfortunately. And when it comes to the Celtics, as I just said, Jaylen Brown, more points. The dude's leading the league in 2-point attempts, getting to the line more. Hopefully he makes some of the more of those free throws. But yeah, Prize Picks. Use code CLNS to get $50 instantly when you play $5 or more. Use code CLNS to get $50 instantly when you play $5 or more. It's good to be right.
All right, Prize Picks. It's really fun. Yeah. I called my mom mid-Pats game and was like, are you watching this, Mom? She's like, it's incredible. They're playing so well. And I was just like, oh, man, this is a brutal, brutal loss. But hey, Bill Simmons was right. Travion is Jahmyr Gibbs. So that's all that matters.
It's so unfortunate that one running play in the second half where Travion goes to the house and Drake May is like lead blocking and he's the fastest quarterback to ever live. Doesn't go down on the the wins
in the
column.
vault. Yeah,
the Chamber of Secrets.
Yep.
Shit.
It's too bad.
Tough. Jordan Walsh, Brad Stevens asked about I think it was Noah who asked him about like not playing for the first couple of years and just was just always part of the plan. And the way Brad answered it with like this very giddy laugh and smile about like, well, Jordan Walsh was just never going to play in the first 2 seasons. Like, how was he going to play real minutes on the last 2 iterations of the Boston Celtics? And it's funny to hear, and it's funny we've got Eric Weiss in the chat live as well, because he was basically screaming this the entire time. And I guess it's true. Like, how can you evaluate anyone, even like Josh Minot? How do you evaluate someone that has less than 500 NBA minutes? Like, and when most of it's coming in like intermittent garbage time, you can't really. So that was just funny to hear. It was funny to see Brad just laugh at the concept of like there was basically no evaluation until this season.
I do like Noah's amazing at her job, and I'm kind of be playful about the question a little bit, but it's like, is it the plan for this player to be good? You know, it's like, yeah, of course that was the plan, right? It doesn't always work out. I mean, she had a better question than that, but to be facetious for a second, yeah, man, like it's a great point where it like there's nothing. Brad's just basically like, did you see the teams I built? Yeah, Jordan Walsh didn't get to play. Yeah, we couldn't evaluate that guy. Drew Holiday was like our 6th best player, you know, like Jordan Walsh is not playing on that team. So it continues to amaze me how good he is now and how awesome he is and how consistent he has been really on both sides of the ball. But it goes to show that even though he was not playing any significant role and was just getting bits and pieces here and there, they clearly invested in him and invested in his development and, you know, made sure he was getting reps in Maine, made sure he was getting reps at the big club. And like, clearly he's got the respect of Jaylen. I assume he has it of Jayson Tatum. And you don't just get that for no reason. Like, you saw how quickly Romeo Langford basically got run out of town. They never talked about Romeo Langford. And then now Jaylen is just like gushing about Jordan Walsh nonstop. He plays hard and those guys are going to respect it and love it. So yeah, man, like sometimes guys just need an opportunity. They just need to feel like they can make some mistakes and do things wrong. And then it starts to really pull together for them. You see it over and over again. The problem is it also goes the opposite way where you get exposed immediately like Luka Garza did. And you're just kind of unplayable and it's a shame.
That was a perfectly timed soliloquy as Ted.
I know. I figured I had to keep going. Yeah.
When went nuts barking at nothing there for a couple minutes. So what a professional from you. Yeah, Jaylen Brown, I don't think ever went to Brad Stevens and asked him to put Romeo Langford as the lead point of attack guy. Yeah. That's a very good point. We'll always have that sick summer league dunk that Romeo Langford had. And we're like, maybe this is the moment.
And he had that one good game against the Nets where we lost in 5 and he had like started and he had like 14 points. And I was like, this is it. He's figured it out. Nope.
Yep. Blessing in disguise. Jaylen being injured paved the way for Romeo Langford to break out. Definitely not. But yeah, it was. And then we went on to talk a little bit about their development system. And now, like, because we haven't, like, Brad hasn't been in charge for a long time, right? So, like, Jordan Walsh was his first pick, and that's his 3rd season now. So, evaluating Brad on his ability to draft and create a development system is one of those things you kind of need a big sample size in order to actually make an assessment. And so now you've got Cornette, Hauser, Walsh, if things continue trending in the right way, like Ugo, even Minot, like whether you can count Minot in like the development kind of system or more just an eye for talent, which Brad clearly does have, but he says the intention has always been for the development system to be the best we can possibly be at for creating an environment for growth. It's kind of a non-answer for just like obviously every team thinks that and wants that to be the case. But something that I liked was he said, regardless of whether you're here for 1 year or 10 years, we want you to feel like you're being invested in. And as much as I love all the Missoula quotes and I wouldn't trade it for the world, I do miss like the worldview sensei Brad Stevens kind of softness that he would kind of give to all of his answers. I always appreciate when Brad speaks because he does clearly very much care about people. So does Missoula, but in the more
In a
octagon,
psychotic way.
yeah,
Yeah.
MMA type of way.
Yeah. Joe is like, I'm going to make you the most dominating physical specimen you ever imagined you could be. And Brad is like, I want that guy to be my father. I just want him to give me sagely advice on like a Sunday when I'm a little anxious about work. And he's like, hey, son, buddy, we care about you. We want to make sure you know you're loved and that you can do it. And it's like, and yeah, I'm with you. Like, obviously Brad is just a one of one, unique personality and unique basketball mind. And like, you don't see it reminds me of Pop in a lot of ways, where like that was the same ethos that the Spurs always had and still do have. But you hear like guys who played on the Spurs for like 3 months go to dinner with like the whole organization when they're in town for a game and stuff like that. And the Spurs have been extraordinarily successful for an extremely long time. It's probably the right team to base your development off of, your infrastructure off of. But it's not easy. You need the right leadership and you need buy-in from top to bottom. And like, that's why the Wizards are not the Spurs, right? You need
Cater.
like,
I can't believe I forgot the Cater.
Oh yeah, Cater. Yeah.
That might be the biggest one.
I think Hauser too is a big one. Yeah. I mean, they picked him off the scrap heap. And like the proof is in the pudding, man. Like you see all these guys coming up. Pritchard too. Like he was the 28th pick, like there was no guarantee he was an NBA player. Now that I know Pritchard, like, and we see him, that dude was going to make the NBA no matter what team he was on, but we can count him as a success too, I think. So like, man, what they've developed and put together, like, I just trust these guys will identify talent they think they can work with. And if it doesn't work, move on quickly. And, if it does, awesome. They're going to find a role somewhere.
You saying the thing about the Spurs reminded me about some of the Chris Paul stuff I read today. I'm not sure if you've dove into the Chris Paul being sent home by the Clippers stuff.
Oh,
but
not real. I mean, I like generally know what happened. I think I saw like Kawhi be like, I wasn't involved in that decision or whatever, but that's about it.
So the story that I saw today is that like Chris Paul hosted a Halloween party and like nobody, 3 players turned up. It was like Zubats, I forget the other 2. And you think about the Spurs, like everybody, like everything that came out of the Spurs was like, we love that guy, great leader, like really made a good impression on Stephen Castle and all these. And it's like, I saw a Spurs fan be like, the Spurs would have gone to his Halloween party. And like, there's so much wrong with the Clippers, but like, might be able to boil it down to just awful culture. And Kawhi Leonard being wrapped up in this scandal and James Harden, who is more of a family man than he used to be, but like, no shit that James Harden, Kawhi Leonard team didn't go to like the wholesome team building activity, right? Like that's, the Celtics, Spurs, good culture. And that matters. There's a reason as well. The Clippers haven't developed fucking shit when it comes to any young players over the past few years, and big reason why, they are in the position that they are currently in is that they have nothing coming through the pipeline. It's like nice little free agent signings with Derek Jones Jr. and Chris Dunn, but nothing like no Cater, no Walsh, nothing like that.
Do you give him credit for Zoo? I mean, he was like pretty solid for the Lakers, but I guess you give him credit for him, but that was a long time ago now. And the one guy they did develop was Shea, and then they they had to make that trade, but like, that was a mistake. And so yeah, man, like it's a complete disaster. And I don't know how you like focus and develop a culture when you have this aspiration stuff hanging over you. Like that is just a weight, man. Like you've got investigators asking for everybody's emails. Like I can't imagine the anxiety that is permeating through that organization. It is not a good environment to win basketball games.
Yeah. And I love that Bill Simmons keeps pointing out that like they're hosting the All-Star game and he expects like I think yesterday he said expect like a Christmas news dump late in the afternoon.
Oh, yeah.
Like something like that. All right, Spoons. I reckon we hop over to the Patreon where we're going to start with some very damning Anthony Simons numbers. So that's a good tease. So if you want to hang around for why Anthony Simons is not good at basketball, come over to the Patreon. We'll hit NBA Cup and some broader NBA stuff like, can we take down the Knicks? Are they the favorites? Can anyone beat them? And then I watched the Nuggets Rockets the other day, and man, they're good, despite missing like 2 starters. And so
Yeah, man. And sorry.
There you go.
I was just gonna say the Patreon, patreon.com / first to the floor, just all letters wise, no number 2. And join up there. There's a bunch of different tiers. If you want access to the podcast, the bonus content, Jake's additional kind of solo pods, my player lunchtime breakdowns, you do have to go to the second tier. The first one is just Discord access. So definitely check that out. Jake just threw the link in the chat, and we will see some of you over there, and we are out. Peace.